We continue our Look Who Cares 12 Days of Giving now with our 8th organization. It's nominated by Look News reporter Mary Beth Heineck. We welcome Maggie Frank. She's the Executive Director from the Domestic Violence and Rape Crisis Services of Saratoga County. Here with me now, Maggie Frank from DVRC. Thank you so much for being a part of our 12 Days of Giving.
Thank you very much, David.
It's great to have you here. I guess the best place to start is the mission of Domestic Violence Rape Crisis Services of Saratoga County.
Okay. We work to make sure that everyone in our community is safe from violence, whether that is domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, rape. We work to provide services to victims, 24/7 crisis intervention, but ongoing support services, and also to do prevention, because our goal is to end those crimes.
You also, as well as that, have a shelter where people that are the victims of domestic violence could use as an escape, a refuge.
Yes, we do, yes. And we have a 24/7 hotline too, so anyone in need can get our help 24/7.
Talk to me about those different services. You're a small organization. You've got a lot going on between the shelter, the different legal aspects to this, the counseling. Talk to me about what your office is doing on a daily basis.
Okay, let's start with crisis intervention. Crisis intervention, there's a 24/7 hotline that you can call. It's area code 518-584-8188. So anyone who is in a crisis, or someone who is at that point where they need to talk to someone, or it can be someone who knows someone who's in a crisis and doesn't know what to do, doesn't know how to help someone they love, they can call our hotline. We also have emergency shelter. That is for domestic violence victims, adults and children, who need to flee an abusive situation, have no other place to go. So we offer shelter. Then we offer support services, counseling, to help people to understand what their options are and to help them to make changes. We have legal advocates who help to navigate the very complex and sometimes confusing court system. We have a safe pet partnership so that the pets that are left home are not in danger of being abused as someone is leaving that abusive relationship. We have case managers. They help with the very basic needs that people have if they're to move out of an abusive relationship. So housing, employment, child care, health care. And then, as I said, we do prevention. We want to be out of a job. We want to end this. And so we do a lot of work with schools and community groups to help people to understand what relationship abuse is and to help prevent it.
You're talking about that prevention aspect of it. Probably the younger you can get into somebody's head that this behavior is not acceptable. You shouldn't have to be treated this way. It's probably the best for future development. But you have a lot of prevention programs, including your prom dress donations that you're looking for. Talk to me about how that's important to helping young girls, find the signs of domestic violence and not allow it to be a part of their life.
Sure. I think one of the things that no one ever thinks this will happen to me. I've heard of it, I've seen it on TV, it won't happen to me. And the Prom Dress project actually came out of our sexual assault program. No one ever thinks that they will be a victim of a date or acquaintance rape. And yet it happens all too often. And so what we are doing is we collect prom gowns, and for girls who otherwise could not have that gown and go to the prom. But as part of that, as we give out that gown, we give some information that has to do with dating violence and date rape. And so that way, every girl who's coming with her mom, they get this information, and maybe in that we're helping to prevent someone from having that happen.
I thought it was fitting at this time of year to really recognize your staff and the great work they do. I recently participated in that Homeless Awareness Day event, as you're well aware of, where I got to experience firsthand what the process is like of turning to your agency for services and going through the many different facets of this process. Talk to me about this great group of people who are wearing so many hats and providing so much information, and also on a daily basis dealing with very difficult situations.
That's true, and they are extremely dedicated. People come to us, and I think one thing they're afraid of is that they're going to come in and we are going to have a formula that they have to fit. We'll whisk you out of it, you'll lose your choices. That's not what we do. My staff talk to people about the situation they're in, what their options are, and what they want the outcome to be. And everyone who comes to us might have a different outcome. And so they're very important. It's important that they're listeners and that they're knowledgeable about what people's options are in the legal system, as well as getting support services from the community. And I know when you came, that was kind of exploring some of those issues. And we allow people to make decisions, and that's a really important part of the work that my staff do every day. And as you said, folks come to us in crisis, and they don't know where to turn. And we help them to navigate that, and sometimes to make a decision and say, later, maybe that wasn't the one I wanted to do, let me try something else, and you can always come back.
Yeah, definitely a valuable service in our community. We talked a little bit about people can donate prom dresses, but what other ways can our community help support your mission at DVRC?
Okay, the holidays are coming. We'll talk a little bit about holiday giving. We have many people who are very generous and help at the holidays. Some adopt a family to provide gifts for children or the parent in the family who wouldn't otherwise have it. But then some also help in a very more important way, in that sometimes there's a financial obstacle. Sometimes the only thing that can keep them from getting out of an abusive relationship is they don't have a security deposit, or they don't have the money to pay a light bill or a phone bill. So sometimes folks will give to our emergency assistance so that we can help people with those needs. Other folks will help the work the agency does. Buy a vacuum cleaner for the shelter, or provide financial support for a program that really matters to them, and they can say, I could see this being beneficial. And then there's also, sometimes we think about giving at the holidays, but it doesn't have to happen then because we're all busy.
Yeah.
We have many ways to involve community members in some of our awareness activities and volunteer capacities. And so give us a call, because the skill sets that you have, we can use.
All right. Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us during this this holiday season. Maggie Frank, the Executive Director from Domestic Violence and Rape Crisis Services of Saratoga County.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, to find out more about DVRC, also we'll post the telephone number there that Maggie told you about, the 24-hour hotline. It's all on our website. Head to looktvonline.com.